But now I'm very happy to introduce our panelist in the studio, Vice President of Danfoss Editron, Kimmo Rauma, and with him, Director of the Marine Business Line, Erno Tenhunen. Please welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Nina, and thank you, Jesper. It was really enjoyable to see our tool finally out, and I'm really happy to be finally connected also to all of you and being able to share the latest information. Throughout the times it has been really somehow difficult to get the connection to the throughout the marine field and in that matter all the other business lines as well. But today we decided really to make this kind of happening to all of you so that you can have questions and we can really have a direct connection with all of you. So I would really now urge, first of all, use the questions, send those so that we get the active discussion and we really get your feedback that how would you like to use the tool, what would help you the best to get in forward with the electrification scheme in the marine. And our job is to really make it easy and addressable to all of you. We will then support you, of course, with the technology and the support and service, but the first step that you know and you understand that how it is happening, how you can do it, and how it's affecting to your design, that's the first step that we can offer as a supplier to this area. So this is something that we really want to focus on. So let's first of all start with the more or less the interesting general topic with Erno. So I'm really happy to be here with you, and the first question, what is of course interesting, how is the business in marine for us, and of course what you see at the moment on the market in general?
I would say that the marine market is going through quite a big evolution for the moment. So what we have seen is that what has happened already in big vessel sizes, there we have had already electric propulsion quite a long time, more than 100 years. But now the same evolution is happening in smaller boats, workboats. It's been already in the yachts, but more and more vessel types are coming into part of the electrification. So we are seeing quite a big technology jump forward, especially on the smaller vessels and even on the boats. And for us, what it means, I would say that we have seen this trend over last 10 years that this is happening, and there is quite a big demand for the global solutions and global makers for these small vessels, for the shaft-to-shaft supplier.
Yeah, thank you, and I think that this is really interesting, and also, of course, I can see it and I follow it closely that how your business line is doing, and really being able to see the huge opportunity pipeline growth for ourselves, and that has been tremendous throughout the last years. So when I remember that we started about a decade ago, it was only few of the builders were trying it out, but I can see that what you would say just generally, is it now 50%, 80% of the new vessels that come in the picture that are asking to have the electric solution at least available for us?
I would say that all big investment programs are, whether those are full electric or diesel electric or hybrid systems. So I would say that the only minor part of the, let's say, passenger ferries and so forth in the future will be, let's say, conventional diesel mechanical propulsion systems.
Yeah, that's also somehow that I see it, because it's huge growth, and of course we will see this business becoming more and more important, and this kind of tools what we presented hopefully helps all of you to get really hands-on touch that what can you do, what are the specialities, and how you can make your designs to be more competitive than anyone else. So then the next part is more or less that. So what is our position, Erno, in this scheme? So what is really Danfoss is a big brand but not really in the system level. So can you a little bit elaborate the Danfoss and the Danfoss Editron as a player in this market?
Yeah, I would say that Danfoss has been in the marine market decades already. We are participating marine market in heating and cooling segment. Danfoss Drives is participating. Deep hydraulic systems in our own segment is also there. We have different type of products for marine, but thanks to the customers and active customers, we have been now developing last 10 years complete DC-based systems for marine vessels. So this is based on customer needs. There is a need for this type of supplier, global player, who have a capability to develop and have a long-term commitment to develop quite, in the end of the day, is quite difficult and demanding technology and to make a commercial solution for that. And of course, in Danfoss Editron, we have also a component approach, not only the system approach. So we are delivering compact electric motors and inverters to marine market. So we are using multi-channel approach. Of course, the main focus is on the system side, quite much because of the market need. So that's where we are focusing a lot for the moment.
That's I think a good strategy. Of course, it is because it's ours. So why would I say otherwise? But just then when you come to the market and as Danfoss is known for a long time as a special supplier of the components and supporting a lot of integrators, and then we heard the market to say that okay, we also need to have systems for the new DC link and all of that. But it doesn't make any sense to come to the market with the Me Too system. So what is so special now in our system?
Yeah, again, we started all these development programs by having the first quite big discussions with customers, with ship designers and shipyards, that what is their need actually. And the main aim, what we learned, is that we need to give flexibility to ship designer and shipyard to design a very good vessel. So their claim was that they see that especially what comes to the smaller vessel sizes, that they cannot accept that the vessel is a carrier for electrical equipments, their own machinery, but it's for a certain purpose. And there has to be space for cargo, for passengers, or for, in the case of leisure boats, for normal people who are going for fishing. And that's really the starting point for all our activities. So we have been aiming to have a flexibility for the equipment installation, to have components which are able to tolerate also the machinery room environment, and also the most important element have been that the complete design is very compact and lightweight.
Okay, so more or less we really look on the area that it should be, let's say, customer friendly. And of course now a lot of you, we hope and many of you already are our customers. So I really hope that you challenge us with your questions and make sure that this is also what you see and what you get from us, that we address it to help the vessel design and make it more easy. And then I hear a lot of times that you talk about decentralizing. And then for me, centralizing is something in business that more or less comes more easy. And now you say that we make it easy for customers, and you are talking that we are decentralizing. So can you a little bit explain that why now the decentralizing is the easy part?
Yeah, let's go a little bit back to the starting point for this development program what we made 10 years ago. So in order to save space, does it make sense to have a huge electric rooms on board of the vessel, or is it really better to use all the space in the machinery area, to utilize those spaces also for the electrical component installation? And according to our understanding and also based on feedback from our customers, it makes sense. But if there is no equipment available in the market, electrical equipment that you can actually use in those places, then you can't do that. And our idea is that we have an inverter and electric motors close to the consumer. Also the permanent magnet-based technology generator connected to the generator. And everything in between will be DC grid. So we are using decentralized DC system in order to transfer energy from the production to the main consumers. And that's also very important to see that all the distribution is made based on DC network, meaning that we get space savings, weight savings, what comes to cabling. The best case, what we have done a case study with a customer, we reached 60% weight savings.
60?
60.
Okay, that's and what does it mean if I know what it means for me if I lose 60% of my weight? So of course I'm quite competitive on any athletics or going out. So but what does it mean in the vessel? So does it come also as for the vessel then? That what is the main difference when it comes to the weight saving or space saving in a vessel?
You can have two different approaches. So I would say that now when we are coming more and more to electric vessels, then I would say that all the weight savings means that the propulsion power will be reduced in order to have the same operational performance. Meaning that you can also have a smaller battery size. Again, we are talking about weight.
Yeah. But if you have a smaller battery size, so do you then get the shorter distance?
No, because you have a lighter vessel, or unless you decide to go to other direction, where all the machinery is lighter, but you can take more cargo or more passengers.
Okay, so you actually can earn more.
You can earn more in one way or another.
Yeah, that I like.
Yeah, cost savings, or you can earn more.
Yeah, I could earn more by losing weight. Hey, but maybe we can also look of just to get an understanding that we have something here on our table, and now when we look at it, it's something that I think that it's really good to look, because I used to be in the industry of designing electric converters in an industrial side. Mm-hmm. And typically we had a component which was put in the cabinet, and these cabinets were put into the big room in the paper mill or wherever, and then there was a daily nurse taking care of all of things that it functions and everything is running as a 24/7, but then when we are in the vessel and you cannot have this, I understand from your speech that we cannot have this extra room. You are preferring that for cargo, for earning more. You would really like to have it. You would like to basically forget it that it exists, because you would like to use your vessel. So then of course we decided to go for mobile market, and we designed a new mobile inverter, which is now utilized in the marine segment. So maybe you can a little bit show it and just to get everybody to understand that what is now the space saving that we get.
Yes, I think you raised a good question. Does it make sense first to have the huge electric room on board of the vessel, where you have huge electric cabinets, where you have the active parts, which is here on the table? Okay. And this minor piece is 15 kilos. It can produce 300 kilowatts of power. And it can be installed to machinery room, right next to the main engine. Very simple.
And so when you talk about DC link and everything is connected, so here you can see the two connections which goes, and then you can also daisy chain them here. Then you have only the liquid cooling, and then you have the three phases to the motor.
Yes, correct.
That's super simple.
Yes.
I need to tell thanks to our R&D.
Yeah. You know, quite often in technology, the most difficult thing is to develop something simple. And this is simple. But it took 10 years ago, quite a long way to make this happen, and also to build the DC system based on these and our own Danfoss electric motors. But now the vessels have been already in operation more than 7 years, almost 10 years, and we have had more and more project deliveries based on these.
Yeah. And I also remember then the times that I was also more responsible of these developments. So typically the maintenance was such that we also had then the parts which goes and the service guys comes in and they have PCB boards and they have stuff and then they open it and they try to fix it. So, but with this, can you do what do you do if there is any issues?
Typically, the failure rate is very low, and it's relatively easy actually to change the whole inverter. So take off the cables, put a new one in, and check the software, and it's up and running.
So it's a little bit like a universal maintenance box, or
absolutely.
And is this the same device for DC in the batteries and the inverters and in the whole? So it's only the one box.
It's only the one box.
Okay, so we must have a good factory building these a lot. So,
yes, we have.
But it's exactly something that is totally different that we can see in the industry and from that side that we are typically using in the marine. Is it so? How it is that because it's not developed for the industrial side? So where we get this market to really bring it also to the marine, so that it's not only developed for marine?
Yes, I think the biggest differentiator actually with this is that this is not for the process industries. Of course, it could be used there as well. It looks robust, and I'm sure that somebody would like to use it there. But I think when you combine different type of vehicles and marine, and especially when we are focusing to smaller vessel sizes, then you can find the win-win case, and you can ramp up the volumes up, because of course when you're talking about trucks or automotive industry, there you typically deliver hundreds of thousands of units rather than hundreds. So we saw that it's really a strength for us to combine both of these industries and slightly further develop this for the marine.
Yeah.
So there will be a support for the next decades, because of the fact that this will be used not only in the marine but also on the off-highway industry.
And have I understood it correctly that the same let's say the combustion engine makers that are working in the mobile off-highway machines, whatever it is, Cummins or Volvo or whoever there, they are also used in the marine space, and more or less we address the same suppliers on the OEM side for each of our business lines, and such a way we have a really good support and maintenance and all of this throughout the network.
Absolutely. So all the biggest engine makers who have a very important role today in the marine sector as a technology supplier, they are also most likely heading to electrification. And here we have let's say a global product, what they can use also in marine and also in their off-highway applications, trucks or buses and other applications.
That's really interesting. But why would I use like 10 smaller generators in my vessel rather than one big, huge powered, directly targeted for marine segment? Why would I go there?
Typically, there are good reasons behind. So if we are using a DC system, as we are building the DC network, then it's relatively easy actually to make the space savings and also weight savings. You have a redundant power plant, easy to replace the engines, and so you're not actually dependent on one or two main engines anymore.
Okay.
So again, we go back to the ship design and flexibility to make a good and proper vessel.
Yeah, so because of course I'm not expert in marine, so in which state of the design you need to take this kind of possibility in consideration that you can utilize the best out of the decentralized system and the small components and the footprint saving, that you get most out of it for your marine vessel?
I think the starting point will be a concept design phase already. And of course, then you enter to basic design, and of course, detailed design is already more or less work for a shipyard. But I would say that when somebody's already starting to evaluate let's say a business case for the new vessel, that's the good starting point. So when you start to plan investment, that's the right point. And we are working globally, I would say, almost all ship designers, and we are sharing the information also that this kind of system solution is available, and we have a global approach for this technology and local approach actually to serve customers, shipyards or integrators, in order to deliver the same system, same technology, and all the quality what Danfoss have for all what we deliver.
Okay, and then as a Danfoss is a safety first company, so we really focus on safety, and it comes in all of our actions, and of course it has been really proven in these COVID times, and we have been really able to run all of our factories, no matter where in the world they are positioned or regardless of our segment. So it has been really proven and solid safety first approach that we have. But how the safety is now taken care of in this concept, because of course you have now, as you said, the high voltage inverters somewhere in the vessel, and they are not anymore taking care of one room that you can lock the door. So how it's now? Is it more dangerous?
I would say that of course when you're talking about DC systems, people are somehow have some doubts that what does it mean, because it's not conventional old-fashioned AC system anymore. And of course it's a new technology, but we have to also keep in mind that this was actually the first electric technology for vessels already 100 years ago. But of course we have now a completely new approach, new technology, and of course the safety features are now all in there. So of course the starting point is the crew and passenger safety. And all these components are typically located in the machinery room, which is also a restricted area typically.
Okay.
Not in the same way as electrical room, but also there are limitations. And also when you're talking about smaller vessel sizes, then I would say that the machinery room is not maybe the place where you want to spend time. Then of course the safety features are all there. So of course you have to have all temperature limitations, different type of other protective functions. But of course when you're talking about DC systems or any electric systems, you're mainly concerned about the earth fault, short circuits. And I think this is something important, that our system is actually built in a different way than what you can find in the market. So we have actually full selectivity in the system, meaning that if there is a single fault somewhere, we are able to isolate that part out of the network, meaning that all the rest part of the network is up and running.
So just to understand it correctly, so is it what is the difference in a other kind of system? Is it that it's the whole blackout in the ship, or where does it come from that where we exactly make the difference?
Typically, of course, on board a vessel, that is not the case that what you want to have. So modern vessels, I would say that there will be no blackouts, only in case of some very serious issues. But typically vessels design and this electric system design goes that single fault in typically in this size of vessels is causing a half blackout. So half of the power plant will trip.
Okay.
And in our case, if let's say one consumer have a failure, then we just isolate that part. We are using ultra-rapid fuses to make that happen. Also, if you are feeding the power from the batteries, we can isolate one string using the same principles. So in practice, if there is actually a relatively big battery pack, then you can isolate one string out of the complete battery.
And the rest is still functioning, so...
Up and running.
Okay, that's a huge difference if you think about the investment in the batteries, and at least I want to maximize my investment usage, as you know, that you need to make the investments to pay it back. So certainly I would like to use my batteries as a full capacity. So,
yes.
So that's a really good one. Just to have a understanding that I also hear a lot of times that from the challenging part for the business, if we go a little bit back to the business idea, that marine business is project business. And Kimmo, you shouldn't look on the business line of marine business, because more or less we want to focus on the components that we can reproduce, and it takes a lot of manpower in each project, and you don't know how the project is going, and the marine market is volatile, and then you are in the bad situation when the market is down, as we have clearly seen during this year that the bigger vessel types are more or less stopped because of the crisis. But then you talk me a lot of times that don't worry, Kimmo, it's not a problem in our concept, because we have this kind of system factory. So where we have this system factory, and what does it mean?
So in practice, we were thinking how to serve best the customers globally, to make sure that the project deliveries will be done according to the same quality standards what Danfoss is following, and making sure that locally also the customer will be happy. And then we decided that we don't only standardize and the product, the complete system design, and productize that, but also how we are serving customers. So no matter of the location of the yard or any customer, so we are working in the same way. And our quality promise to the ship owners is that no matter if the yard is in Europe, in US, in China, or maybe in Singapore, that we deliver the same. So same on the component level, same on the control software side, and also what comes to the services and local support to the customer, direct customer.
That's I also like to hear it from the business side of ours. So we are really agile, and then we also can maneuver over the different cycles of the business.
Yeah, it helps us actually to scale down and scale up our deliveries, because then it's a concept what we do everywhere globally. And also it means that maybe there will be also a cost driver behind, because we are in practice delivering same concept to all customers. It looks different, but we are concentrating on the DC network and decentralized systems. So we don't do the old-fashioned technology. We don't deliver that.
So more or less what I hear you saying is that the quality promise that Danfoss has as a company for the components, you are delivering the same promise to the system level.
Absolutely, that's the way.
Okay, that's really good. I hope also that there are some of Danfoss higher level leaders listening this and have contributed, so that we can get their notice in that one. Hey, Nina, I would like to ask you that how is there with the questions? Do we have already questions coming in? And I would really like to take all of you to participate this discussion, because certainly you know more about the market, the marine vessels, and you have more targeted questions to make sure that we are addressing this in a correct way, and we can address also to the technical side of the people. So Nina, how we are with the questions?
Thank you, Kimmo, and thank you, Erno, both of you, for a great conversation. Yes, Our audience has been active and we have a lot of questions here. I have invited one additional person to help you out to make sure that we can answer even the trickiest technical questions. Let's welcome Jussi Paakkunainen, System Technology Manager from Danfoss Editron. Jussi is joining via Teams connection from Vantaa. So welcome, Jussi. Let's start with the questions. First question. Is the eConfigurator capable of generating the corresponding one-page 2D single-line diagram with equipment ratings and capacities? Who would like to answer this question? I'm guessing, Jussi, you have been part of the project team developing these tools. Would you like to start?
Certainly so. Thank you, Nina. I can take this up. Yeah, the printout of the eConfigurator does not include a single line diagram, but that is up to come with the eCalculator later during this year. So having these equipment ratings and capabilities also, that will be the eCalculator that will handle that job. So hold on a bit until the new tool is launched.
Good, thank you. Let's take the next question. Editron system is based on DC distribution. I see batteries also having DC voltage. Can they be applied into your system? Who would like to answer this one?
Maybe we ask again from our technical expert there.
Jussi.
So, Jussi, please.
Sure. As mentioned by Jesper already in the beginning, and also what was discussed between Erno and Kimmo, certainly the batteries are there, being possible to be taken into use. So definitely so, and we have much of deliveries already with the major battery makers on the market, so no problem with that.
Excellent. Okay, next one. You are located in Finland and the eConfigurator is available globally over internet. But which markets can you serve as a company?
Maybe that will go then to Erno and you can a little bit elaborate that how global you have the business line at the moment and how we are going to invest more.
So thank you, Kimmo. So I would say that we are operating on both sides of equator or both sides of Bering Strait. So we have a very global approach. So we have teams in North America, in Europe, also in China and Asia Pacific regions. So in practice we are doing sales work and project deliveries already in I would say all regions. And I would say that this is really important in this global business to have the global capability to deliver complex projects no matter of the location of the customer, to deliver the same quality.
Okay, that's so. But you are like saying that we are today here actually in Lappeenranta, Finland. So you would say that this is not the central point of marine industry.
I'm sure that this huge lake area is helping us to understand also here the needs of marine industry. But of course our network is and teams of electrical engineers and mechanical engineers. Most of us have already more than 20 years experience in marine industry in different type of positions. Having R&D background in marine industry, sales, project execution, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, product management, and it actually gives a very good strength to our team. And not only on the electrical field, but we have a clear understanding of the whole vessel technology.
Yeah,
it helps us.
I also want to take one detailed question point here because of course there's, at least on my mind is that on these times that we are not able to travel, and I'm worried about how we can actually make the commissionings, how we can actually serve the service cases of the customers no matter where it is. So can you tell just shortly that how we were able to handle throughout the last 9 months, because I have no calls from cases that we would have not been able to serve.
So in the beginning of the special situation, we made a plan how to handle different cases with different customers. And we mapped the needs, what customer have. We have customers who can do almost all parts of the commissioning by themselves. And I would say many cases we have done commissioning remotely in practice using, let's say, modern tools for this. And the best case was the third day when our site engineer went to the site. He already left and vessel left the shipyard. So there have been also cases that we have done a combined approach, remote commissioning and final system delivery and selling that to the owner and classification society. We have been participating that by someone in our team, and really in a few days we can do this part. So there was actually a quite big time and cost savings for the yard.
So more or less, this time has been really making us more efficient on the industry, and also because of there's now I'm asking more questions than the people there, but I will just want to elaborate on one thing on this point. So when we talk about the classification and in marine, it's a big discussion every time. So we are able now remotely also to take it on the factories, that we get all the project approvals done remotely now with the classification society.
Yes, that is what we do. So we have also a concept what we are using with the classification societies, that how we are working, that people don't need to come from the classification society to our factory, but we can do that also remotely. Yeah. And they have a very good comfort how we are doing and what is our setup for that.
That's really good. Nina, let's look for the next questions that it's not me who is asking what I don't understand.
Yes, there's a lot of questions. Is it possible to include third-party components, meaning non-Danfoss components, into the system?
Would you, Erno, start, and then maybe we can ask Jussi then the next step, but maybe you can ask from the business side. As of course, from my side, of course, we want to maximize our part, but then the customer is always right. So what do you say on this?
Yes, I would say that since the system design and architecture is very flexible, even though it's productized and standardized. So we have been thinking how to integrate batteries, which are typically third-party component. Also, other different, let's say, components, what might be needed, we can deliver through us, and we have built the system in a way that all these third-party equipments are easy to integrate to this system.
Okay. So the answer is that yes, it is possible.
Yes, absolutely.
And we will support it with the edge case and look at how it's done. But that's a good news. Then let's have a next question, Nina.
Yes, it's can you use an existing ship model as a background for the Editron model? And I'm assuming this question means the eConfigurator, and maybe I can answer that a little bit. The eConfigurator is using certain default vessels in the background. It is possible to tailor-made and choose any vessel on the configurator. It's not possible right now, but we could do that with a customer. But it's a kind of a special case. Okay, then we have a more or less question or comment. I will read it to you. Assume that the mechanical components, for example, gearboxes and couplings for propulsion and thruster motors, are excluded deliberately. Maybe worth considering to add because the units are quite space consuming. Would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, maybe Erno, you can just take a look. Of course, I can just give a business side. So what of course I want to sell is where we as a Danfoss Editron has added value. So we don't want to more or less buy a component and do nothing for it and try to, because that's also not the benefit of the customer that we add those ones where we don't bring the added value. But how would you say on the mechanical parts that how we would like to see it and what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think in shipbuilding industry, the typical, let's say, interfaces are pretty much standardized. So in practice, we are following the similar approach. So flanges and so forth, the mechanical components, those are, in the end of the day, is relatively cost efficient to the yard to buy them directly or depending on their own setup, that how they want to do it. What we do is that we support, of course, the yard to make right selection sometimes, but of course we consider that our core competence is on the electrical side and talking about the generators, electric motors, inverters, and DC system. And therefore, quite often, those doesn't come through us.
Maybe Jussi, could you also a little bit elaborate, because you are really actively on the hands-on projects many times. So could you also maybe say a few words that how it's going in the real project with the mechanical parts?
Sure, thank you, Kimmo. Thanks, Erno. I hear some echo, by the way. Sorry, Nina. For the gearboxes and whatsoever other mechanical parts that are actually not Danfoss core competence, the picture is exactly what was described by the gentleman before. So having our know-how and focus on our know-how is what we do, but certainly keeping a combined work with our customer to make the best solution in overall, not only for the electrical system that we deliver, but overall for the vessel. That is the ultimate target, of course, and that is where we can both teach our customers what kind of interfaces we have and learn from our customers that what kind of interfaces we need to implement more on these standardized platforms whatsoever to serve the market better. So in practice, for example, a gearbox as one example, maybe it's not even needed for electrical propulsion, because in some cases direct-driven propulsion might be much more suitable for the particular vessel than one with a reduction gear.
Okay, thanks Jussi. Let's go for the next question, Nina.
Thank you, Jussi. We didn't hear any echo, by the way, so I think we will go back to Jussi with the next one. Which vessel types the Editron marine system can be applied for?
That's a good question. Thanks for that. And even if the eConfigurator, we see that there are selections for ferries, workboats, yachts. That's not the limitation, actually. What the limitation, if we want to bring up the limitations, that's what Jesper mentioned, the propulsion shaft power of 1.5 megawatts or so. That is the one that actually is something that restricts us at the moment going higher in powers. And that kind of vessel or system is suitable for many types of vessels. We can do small pusher tugs. We can do many kinds of workboats. Even we have done an icebreaker with the power levels what we have. Road extension ferries, yachts, patrol boats. There are various types of vessels on the market. One particular vessel type that is at the moment arising a lot of attention is actually crew transfer vessels for example, wind farm industry. So having a catamaran equipped with our system, yes, makes the catamaran lightweight and a more passenger or more cargo and service crew members space for those.
Great, thank you. Another one is it possible to generate dimensional 2D drawings or even 3D of the equipment included in the eConfigurator layout? Jussi, can you answer this one?
Yeah, this is for the tool of course. The 3D drawings, what you might refer as a CAD drawings, for example, those are not available. But what you can do is to have the printout from top and side and from the perspective that you have selected from the visual window on the right hand side. 2D drawings of the equipment, what we produce at Danfoss Editron, they are available on our website from the products. And certainly what will be later on available through eCalculator are also a direct output of product material with a report in there. But that, like I said, it's not available yet.
Okay, good. Then what about tools for the new drive series IC7? Who would like to answer this one?
Maybe I can start. So IC7 is a wonderful product from the drive segment, and for that one I would say that we are now working because IC7 is targeting a little bit higher power, and also we need to make first sure that how the selectivity is working within the new parts that we put there, and such a way the IC7 we will have a short calculating and project internally to make sure that the selectivity and all the safety aspects are there, and then we will bring out a little bit higher power systems when we are ready with that, and that then it will really support the let's say the full portfolio of the whole Danfoss. Or how would you elaborate this, Erno?
I would say that with this very compact and robust inverter, we have been in the market relatively long time. And I think this is a natural step in a process to create now the tools for this product. And IC7 is just recently published. So the release is just done, and we are not there yet. So I would say that this is the first step for the mobile applications. And what we will do with IC7, that is to be decided. But I would say that it's also coming.
Yeah, and if any one of you have a more or less request for that power or that product, then please be really direct and contact us, and we will find a way to support you in this kind of applications where you would need it. So even the calculator is somehow taking now consideration of the system factory part that Erno was talking about, but all the products that we have, of course, in Danfoss, we are supporting and making the best out of those to make the best systems out of the portfolio we have. So then please directly contact us, and we will support you on that. Okay, Nina, let's take the next one.
Okay, what would you say are the strongest benefits of Editron compared to your competitors?
Well, that's a good one. I like to talk about, of course, the competition, and maybe before I open my verbal part from the competition, I will ask Erno, which is a business line leader, that how you see it, and what are probably the main and the biggest differentiators that is there, and more or less when you look the, I don't know, you call it tenders, that where you need to see the difference and look to the difference, that you can see that, okay, why it is better and the best that is in the market at the moment.
Yeah, I think I just need to summarize what we have been talking. So in practice, how we see the reason to exist is that we made a design which is lightweight and also very compact in order to maximize the cargo space. So we took completely different approach. Also, it gives an opportunity to reduce the propulsion power, meaning also smaller power plant. So we were thinking about the whole vessel design, the whole concept, what will be developed for the vessel to make some operational profile. And the outcome is what we are actually delivering all the time. And this is I would say that other competitors, the competitors have a different approach, and they have, I would say, heavier and space-consuming solutions. And typically, if you have more auxiliary systems on board of the vessel, you need also slightly more propulsion power. So our approach is complete vessel concept. That what is the best for the vessel?
Okay, so when I summarize this, Editron is the best value for your money.
Yes.
That's what you need to get if you want to make the best vessels that you can at the moment. And just there is no paralleling system available on the market just because of the outstanding reasons of the space saving, weight saving, the selective safety, and that this whole part is designed for thinking about the vessel design. So what I would say that we are really focusing to you, to our customers, and if you feel that that's not the case, please be contacting us that okay, Kimmo, you were not truthful, you are not supporting us as you should, and then we will make the changes what is needed, that we are answering to our talk, to the real work. So let's go for the next question, Nina.
Yeah, we have a very interesting one. How to change old traditional AC mindset of majority ship owner? AC is so convenient in their opinion.
Yes, I will just start it and then I will give it to the technical experts. But of course, no matter what industry or what business line we are talking, every time there's a change, there is let's say, mindset needed to be understood. But I would say that let's not start from the technology. Let's start from the design and how much better designs we can do, and see that okay, how I can get to that effectiveness of my design, and then the technology gives you the answers. So the technology is not the driving factor, the design is the driving factor. Or how you would say this, Erno?
Yeah, maybe I will say a few words before we hand over this to Jussi. So typically the best motivator from the ship owner point of view is the money. What does it take actually to pay back the vessel? What are the earnings? So the whole business case for each vessel. And that is the critical, not only for the first cost, but also the operational cost.
Yeah, and then let's go to Jussi, because you used to design AC networks for the, and you were part of one of our competitor team, and now you are part of Editron team and designing DC-link systems. So what made you change your mind to start to work on the DC-link systems?
Excellent point, Kimmo. Thanks for bringing those memories up. Anyhow, yeah, I don't have actually much to add on your comments, because it is exactly so as you mentioned, that the technology, no matter how much I would like to speak about technology, it's definitely not a driver. It's purely a tool to get us and get our customers to a profitable business, and like you, Kimmo, mentioned earlier, to earn more. So that is the target that we need to take, that changing a mindset. I think it's quite natural for people who are making investments. They need to find that the investment is making profit, and the faster it makes profit, the better. So that is the hard fact, that the system design that we have, having the small footprint, having the lightweight, that will result to a more effective vessel design, which will provide more earned value for the operator or the vessel owner.
I could maybe say a few words related to this topic. So since there is typically a bank or some entity to funding construction time and also the whole vessel fleet, we have had discussions also with those entities. to explain that what is the approach we have, what is the technology, how mature that is. And actually the outcome of those discussions has been very good. So those who are actually arranging funding to vessel investments, they seem to like this idea because there is a comfort that if the vessel is built using our design with our products, then there is a guarantee that there will be a payback and no major issues with the vessel electric systems. So we have got very good and positive feedback also from these parties.
Yeah, I would also like to buy a car with those values, so that would make my life also sometimes easier. But let's see when the industry will support that, and as the cars, electric cars are also based on DC links, so maybe the electric cars will then also support this value as well. Nina, let's take for the next questions.
Yes, we have question about operational costs, and is it difficult to give service to this kind of modern system?
Okay, let's maybe put that to Jussi as a technical expert and working on the actual equipment. What do you see as a service and how difficult it is?
This is once again an excellent question. Thanks for that. And actually mirroring a bit on the previous one for the changing of mindset. This is one aspect also that it's good to emphasize to the operators for the operational cost. Of course, we spoke already about having a variable speed operation of diesel engines, for example, providing optimal fuel consumption in any case of power consumption. That's one absolutely perfect solution for the system level, in addition to being able to install and implement batteries or other energy sources on the system. But for the maintenance, having a traditional AC system, as a comparison, you have their breakers and you have, let's say, traditional process industry frequency converters requiring that daily nurse there, cleaning out the air filters and so on. As you saw the inverter unit, for example, on the table, you can see no air vents, you can see no rotating parts, no moving parts in the equipment. And eventually that means that there is actually no points of maintenance on the solution what we deliver to the market. So in that sense, what you need from maintenance perspective is a yearly checkup on bolt tightness and so on, what is typical for every electrical system on board. But other than that, there is really minor points of maintenance needs, and that is making also the operational costs really low when comparing to a traditional AC-based power plant and propulsion system.
Thanks. I think that's quite clear on the values that is there, and as I have said many times that when you talk about the complexity of electric motor, that's the simplest thing that engineer can design because it has only one moving part. If you simplify your electric motor, it's a rock. So more or less that's the thing that you cannot anymore simplify that one. And with the inverter, there is no moving part. So more or less it's the most simple design that one can have on board. But Nina, we have questions. Let's keep doing those.
Yes, we're not going to make it to all questions, but next one is, could you please explain the strategy with regards to marine drives supply in the next coming years? They've listed here Vacon, NX drives, Vacon IC7, Editron. It was said that your main focus will be systems as a system integration. There is a question mark. So yes. Strategy and...
Maybe I can take it as a strategic point and because it's also elaborating about the Danfoss segments and total picture. So there is clear that Danfoss is making inverters as components and frequency converters on the drive segment, and we are also clearly the second biggest in the world for that part. And those components are good and they need to be utilized where they are the best. So more or less it comes to the customer that if you see that the cabinet built structure is best for you, or you have a vessel that's already built such a way, it might make the sense that, okay, I will use this one for this vessel. And certainly this is in the industrial space, you need those because there is a space to have a different electrical rooms, and there is the ventilation anyhow in the buildings, and such a way there is a clear strategy for those components, and we keep on bringing those in a different power ranges and different arrangements. And then we have the mobile side where Danfoss is second biggest in the world for off-highway hydraulic power, and now also with Editron for the electric power in the mobile devices. And we also bring different power ranges and different arrangements to support that area with the heavy-duty mobile compact drives and inverters and DC, whatever that is needed there. And such a way, our marine team can utilize and build the best out of these. So we will have bigger powers coming up, no matter is it the heavy-duty version or the industrial version. We also have upgraded ones to the smaller power. And we will then answer to the market, and most certainly the most important voice that we want to hear is all of you, all the customers, that we know that what is now the things that you need. And in the end, it's anyhow the customer who selects what technology is best for particular a vehicle or marine type vessel or whatsoever. And we see at the moment that the requests have been super high on this compact marine system designs, which are now distributed and decentralized and based on this kind of selective fusing base. So we really see that there is a request for this, and we will be bringing up new versions when it comes to the market. So this is more or less the strategy. So we try and we listen to the market and we answer to the market request and support that. Okay, Nina, let's take the next one.
Yeah, we have time for one more question. I think this one goes to Jussi. Is it possible to configure a parallel system without a generator? In the E-Configurator, the minimum number of genset with parallel option is 1.
Right on, that's a good question. Certainly what we can deliver from our system factory, for sure we can deliver a parallel hybrid system without any auxiliary gensets on board. So having a battery-based power plant hooked up to a PT or PTI solution, that is possible. Anyhow, what we have seen on the market for now, the solutions have been there very often that has a auxiliary genset or multiple gensets supporting the power plant. But certainly good feedback, and definitely we will take this up on the improvements of the eConfigurator tool. Thanks for this hint.
Thank you, Jussi. And actually, I think we need to respect the time of our guests, and it's time to say thank you to all our speakers. Thank you.
Just one more before we stop. That there was the questions, and I think that Nina is going to say that she will make sure that all the questions are answered, that they are there. So please, Nina, continue.
Yes, I was just going to say that thank you for all you guests about the great questions, and we will make sure that you get answers, because there are still plenty of questions that we don't have time, unfortunately, to answer on this live event, but we will answer later. And we have actually recorded this event, so you will receive a link to the recording and also the answers to the questions. Also, you can find the eConfigurator really soon from the electrificationstory.com, and we will also share you a direct link to the tool so that you can start working on it. And of course, we welcome and we would like to hear feedback, more questions or feedback or improvement, development comments for the tool. So please reach out to the team, and thank you again very much for joining. I hope you have a great day.